Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Cassie, and yeah, I know it's been a while. It's been like 2 months. I know I said that I was gonna post some videos like 2 weeks ago, and yeah, that obviously did not happen. So here we are, and we're going to be doing my September TBR, but we're not going to be doing the game. Because I still haven't read anything in 2 months. So we're going to be kind of trying to do some mood reading. Just to see if I'll read, because I don't know, we're just gonna find out, I guess, is how this is all gonna play out, what have you. So I guess, what am I thinking? As far as, wow, words are hard recently. What am I thinking in terms of reading this month? I do have a readathon that I'm going to be kind of a part of. Melanor Reads is putting on a readathon in September, and I don't remember what it's called, but I will look. So just give me a second, and I will bring up her page real quick. The Readathon Rebellion kickoff. Well, not the kickoff. This just happens to be when her first set of sprints is kicking off. But the Rebellion Readathon, maybe? I don't know. The Readathon Rebellion? One of the two. I will post her announcement video below. But there are, I think, 4 prompts at a minimum, I think, that I need to kind of hit for her readathon. And I am trying to bring up her her video so that I can look at. I did not prepare for this at all. Can you tell that I did not prepare for this whatsoever? But there are four prompts that I know that I have to do. But it won't let me load it. No! Well, anyway. We're just gonna have to wing it. We're just gonna have to wing it. I might have to email or message Mel and be like, hey, can you send this to me in a different format, because for some reason it doesn't want to load. But anyway. So what do I want to read this month? That is the question. So let's kind of get into it. Okay, so got caught under my wheel again. Okay, so I have 7 books in front of me. These are books that I physically own. I want to say for Kindle Unlimited, there's maybe 1 or 2 others on Kindle. Well, one is Kindle Unlimited, I think, and the other one is a library book. I do not own either one of them. So maybe I'll go over those first, actually. So the first one, you're probably going to notice a little bit of a theme going on with these, but the first one is The Pines, which is book 1 in the Wayward Pines by Blake Crouch. See if I can't get it to kind of show a little bit. Yeah. I have to turn it very weirdly, but yeah. Um, so I've heard, some decent things about this for a couple years now, but I've never actually sat down and read it. But now I'm kind of feeling like I kind of want to. I don't know why, but the mood is there to possibly read it. So it's on the list. Um, but one way in, no way out. Secret Service agent Ethan Burke arrives in Wayward Pines, Idaho, with a mission. Locate two federal agents who went missing in the bucolic town 1 month earlier. But within minutes of his arrival, Ethan is involved in a violent accident. He comes to in a hospital with no ID, no cell phone, and no briefcase. As the days pass, Ethan's investigation turns up more questions than answers. Why can't he get any phone calls through to his wife and son in the outside world? Why doesn't anyone believe he is who he says he is? And what is the purpose of the electrified fences surrounding the town? Are they meant to keep the residents in or something else out? Each step closer to the truth takes Ethan further from the world he knew, from the man he was, until he must face a horrifying fact. He may never get out of Wayward Pines alive. So, sounds pretty interesting. I'm kind of digging it. And it's like, I think it's like, according to this, it's only like 300 pages long. So, it's fairly short. So I can get on board with that. So then the next one on my library book is The House at Watch Hill by Karen Marie Moning. I think it's Moning. So she wrote, I think it's, what is it, The Fever Dream or something like that. There's a series that exists. Dark Fever, the Fever series. That's the one. She wrote that one. And so this is by that same author. So Zoe Gray is reeling from the sudden death of her mother when she receives a surprising call from an attorney in Divinity, Louisiana, with the news she has been left an inheritance by a distant relative, the terms of which he will only discuss in person. Words are so hard. Destitute and alone with nothing left to lose, Zoe heads to Divinity and discovers she is the sole beneficiary of a huge fortune and a monstrosity of a house that sits ominously at the peak of Watch Hill, but she must live in it alone for 3 years before the house or the money is hers. Met with this irresistible opportunity to finally build a future for herself, Zoe puts aside her misgivings about the foreboding Gothic mansion and the strange circumstances and moves in, where she is quickly met by a red-eyed Stygian owl and an impossibly sexy Scottish groundskeeper. Her new home is full of countless secrets and mystifying riddles, with doors that go nowhere, others that are impossible to open, and a turret into which there is no visible means of ingress. And the townspeople are odd. What Zoe doesn't yet know is that her own roots lie in this very house, and that in order to discover her true identity and awaken her dormant powers, she will have to face off against sinister forces she doesn't quite comprehend, or risk being consumed by them. So, yeah. There's a little bit of a theme going here, even with that. Even though that's like a romance fantasy book, it's still got like a mystery element to it. So now we're gonna get on to the books that I actually physically have right in front of me. And a lot of these I want to say you've probably heard of before. So I'm not going to go and read the synopsis for these. I did it for those because those might not be like, very popular or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll read these. I don't know. I'm just like, this video is going to be so freaking long. But first up, Stephen King's The Institute. I don't think I need to read this one at the least. I don't think I need to read this one. The show just came out, I think on MGM Plus. I think it's MGM Plus. And I have this thing where I want to read the book before I watch the show. So I really want to read this so that I can watch the show. Especially because Ben Barnes is in the show. And I love Ben Barnes. So I really need to read this so that I can watch the show. Another one that's kind of in the same vein is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osmond. So this just had a movie come out on Netflix. I just saw it yesterday. And I was like, wait a minute, it's based on a book. And so, again, I want to read the book before I watch the show. Or the movie. So, I need to get to this one. I'm not sure. This one's not... I don't know if this one's popular as some of the other ones, that, like The Institute, but I'll read this one because I don't think... I didn't really hear of it until I saw it yesterday as a movie, and then it was like based on a book. I never would have known it existed otherwise, but the movie looks interesting. So anyway, in a peaceful retirement village, 4 unlikely friends meet weekly in the Jigsaw Room to discuss unsolved crimes. Together, they call themselves the Thursday Murder Club. When a local developer is found dead with a mysterious photograph left next to the body, the friends suddenly find themselves in the middle of their first live case. They might be senior citizens, but they are cleverer than most. As the bodies begin to pile up, can our unorthodox but brilliant gang catch the killer before it's too late? So, that's that one. And then, of course, this one is probably fairly popular, so I'm not going to read the synopsis for this one. But The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I heard they're making this into either a movie or a show. I don't know which one. And so I would like to read this one before that happens. I've heard good things about it. About the Housemaid, like different books. I think there's like 4 now, maybe, in this little Housemaid series. So I'm hoping that I get to this. Maybe. I don't know. We're going to find out, right? The last kind of mystery horror thriller book that I have on this list is the Darcy Coates that just came out. How Bad Things Can Get. So this one, it was supposed to be the party of the century, miles of idyllic white sand beaches, lush jungle foliage, and a dark legend nobody dreamed might be all too true. When an online influencer and several hundred of his most loyal fans land on Prosperity Island, the plan is simple. 5 days of elaborate games, drinking, and suntanned fun. A week in paradise should have been a welcome respite. The only survivor of an infamous cult, Ruth wants nothing more than to keep her head down and not draw attention. She spent decades outrunning her blood-soaked childhood, and her identity is a closely held secret. But then the true history of the island is revealed, along with its sinister connection to Ruth's past. As guests go missing and games turn deadly, Ruth and the rest of the attendees are forced to question whether they've really been invited to paradise, or whether something much darker and far bloodier is waiting for them just beyond the bonfire's light. Alright, now, the next 2 I'm not going to read the synopsis of. because these are fairly, well, one of them is fairly old and the other one is fairly popular. And so don't feel the need to read those. But the first one is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I know this is kind of an oldie, and I still haven't read it yet. So I really want to get to this. It has been on my TBR for I don't know how long, like a decade. I don't think it's been out that long, but it feels like it's been out fairly long. And so it's been on my list for a really, really long time. 2013. Okay, so it has been about a decade since that one's been on my list. But maybe I'll get to it. I don't know. The next one, I've read it before, but I don't really remember. So I don't know if I'm going to read this one or book 2. But Zodiac Academy's The Awakening by Caroline Peckham, Suzanne Valenti. I might try to find like a recap of book 1 and then just jump into book 2. When I read this, I did not, it was my first bully romance. It was my first kind of dark bully romance type situation. I'd never read anything like it before, and my mind was just not in it. I needed something a little bit more of a stepping stone to get to this. Now that I've read some things that have some bully in it, I still don't particularly like bully, but some of the things I've read are a little bit worse than this in that scenario, a little bit, I want to say. So, this isn't, looking back on what I read, what I remember of it, I don't think it's all that bad as it was the first go around, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm kind of hoping to either pick up that one or book 2, which is Ruthless Fae, I think, back there. Somewhere over here. Yeah. Whatever. Last book that I'm thinking about reading is by Raven Kennedy, because I really liked her Plated Prisoner series. And I want to read more by her, and so I got her one of her other series, well, the first book in one of her other series, called Signs of Cupidity. It's a cute little cover. I like it. But it has something to do with the fact that she's a Cupid, and she can help other people fall in love, but she can't do anything for herself, and she also can't be seen, I guess. And so somehow she gets exiled into the Fae world, and she accidentally attacks a Fae prince with one of her love arrows, but apparently he deserved it. And what she didn't expect was for him to retaliate, and that she would be pushed into the physical realm. And so now she can be seen. She's got a real body. And so now she's like, you know what that means? Now it's my turn to get some. Love, I mean. Wink, wink. But it sounds really cute. And it's kind of short. So, yeah. We're hopeful, okay? I have high hopes. I probably shouldn't at this point, considering it's been 2 months since I've read anything. That wasn't fan fiction anyway. So those are the 7, 8, 9 books that I'm going to attempt to read in September. And we're going to see how they correlate to those 4 prompts that I can't get on my phone for some reason. So maybe it'll load on my computer. I'll try. But we're going to see how it correlates to that readathon, and at least the 4 prompts that I need for that readathon. But yeah, that is my September TBR. That's where we're kind of going right now. It's what I'm feeling. A lot of it's kind of more on the mystery, thriller, horror side, but there's some other ones just kind of thrown in there, but we're going to see how it goes. Really hope that I can get out of this reading slump. So I have so many books that I really want to read, and I just need to read them. But anyway, if you like this video, hit like, and if you want to see more by me, subscribe, and hopefully I will be around a lot more often than I have been the past 2 months. Fingers crossed. Bye!